What is good, you guys? Welcome back to another Invincible Guardians of the Globe video. We are going to be doing one of the many things I want to do. And that is today, we are going to be going over the new totems and artifacts. So there was 3 new artifacts here that was added and 4 new totems. We're going to quick cover them. I'm going to cover all of them and then give my breakdown of what I believe they mean, how I think they could be useful, what characters I think you should put them on, and stuff like that. So let's go over the artifacts first. We have the Golden Apple. This is the apple that Adam Eve turned into solid 24 karat gold for her father to sell because she didn't want him to work anymore. The apple boosts the final wave cost in the wielder's assigned GDA op by 5%, thereby increasing its final rewards. So what this basically means is, if I put this on, let's say any character, when it's all said and done, this is going to increase the amount of rewards they were going to receive. So it's only going to increase it by 5%. So if they were going to earn 100, let's say blue elixir, right? Let's just say blue elixir. They're going to earn you 100 blue elixir. You're going to get 5 extra blue elixir, 5%. So I'm assuming that if you scale this up, like if you get it from level 1 to level 10, it's probably going to jump up, I want to say, to make it useful, by maybe 2.5%. That's what I'm assuming. I'm not going to say crazy number like 5%, because that'd probably be too crazy. I'm assuming it's going to probably jump up by 2.5%. So it'll go up to 7.5. And then getting it to level 20, probably go up to 10. Getting it from level 10 to level 30, which is the max level, it'll probably go up to like 12.5, which is huge. That's a huge investment increase. So now, where I see this being useful, GDA events, so event missions, to earn currency for new heroes, like that, this will be very useful, because when you're only going to earn 100 points or 300 points, that extra 15, that extra 13, that extra whatever, goes a long way. When you're earning a high amount, like, let's say when you're earning thousands, you're earning, like, for example, I earned 2 million in my training game. 5% of 2 million will be what? 200,000? It's not that much when you compare it to 2 million, but it's still a little amount. So I don't think it's going to be like a super sought after artifact, other than I think the best usage of it would be for like currency events for new heroes or summon events, stuff like that. I think that would be the best use for it, other than just using it for your basic GDA extra stuff. Now we got the Mauler cells. So it's 2 sets of Mauler cells, both from the original Mauler, of course. This cell grants the wielder the Mauler tag, boosting the team's max HP by 3% per Mauler present in the team, excluding itself. This is very similar to the way the Maulers already boost each other. So I'm interested in this one because when it says max HP, does it mean that character's max HP or the wielder's max HP? I'm assuming it means their own personal max HPs, which can be different for everybody, especially with this tag. So I find that pretty cool. I would definitely say this artifact is probably going to be very niche, because you have to basically use it in a Mauler team deck. but at the same time could be very interesting, because this can make it, if they have the Mauler tag, and I'll go over the second one first before I go over that. This one is the same exact thing, but instead of giving a health boost, it gives a life leech for 1% life leech per Mauler in the team, excluding itself. And the reason why I'm talking about that is, I'm going to show you what I mean right here. For example, I got these two Maulers here. This Mauler right here increases the team's physical attack by 4.5%, and their physical defense by 4% for each Mauler on the team, excluding itself, right? So, with that ability right there, and then the range Mauler's ability of increasing the team's energy attack and energy defense by 4%, right? So, and that's only for Maulers. That's going to be people with the Mauler tag. So, if you have those two artifacts on, let's say, because these are two criminals, let's say you have those two artifacts on a Powerplex and a Sinister Mark. Now, Powerplex and Sinister Mark now both are included in the Mauler group, which means it'll basically be the same as running 4 Maulers, but without having to actually run 4 Maulers. And that alone is pretty cool. That alone is a pretty cool, interesting thing. Now, the difference is you won't, if I run 4 range Maulers, you're getting this effect here applied, people would think 4 times. No, it just applies it once for each person. So, it's very interesting. I'm very interested to see how it works out. And I do think there are ways to really get some bang out of your buck for it. Because if you run like 2 ranged Maulers, a Doc Seismic, a Powerplex, and a Melee Mauler, and you use the Melee Mauler as the tank and the Powerplex and the Doc Seismic, if you put the Doc Seismic in the middle to stun everybody, and then the Melee Mauler and the Powerplex in the front, with the 2 range Maulers in the back, and Doc Seismic's gonna fly away, everyone on that team has a Mauler tag. So you got basically 5 Maulers on the team, while still having a technical advance boost, which increases everybody on the team because they're all technology based, and while increasing everyone's HP and giving them a 5% life leech. It doesn't sound the best, but in something like Alliance War or Restricted Arena, it can go really crazy. And something for like GDA missions, like for example, I can show you right here. I use for my training game. Oh, this isn't the team I normally use. The team I normally use for training game is actually, and that team I just had in there is a billion power level team, and they didn't even do that well. Because the team I usually run here is Powerplex, my 2 Maulers, and then my 2 backup Maulers. And the reasoning I do that is because of this right here. So as you see here, you get 15 increased energy attack, and that's from the Maulers. 15 physical attack boost, that's from the Maulers. 15 increased energy, plus 12 energy attack, plus 12 energy defense, plus 12 physical defense, plus 12 physical defense, plus 12. So it stacks because of the Maulers, because of the amount of Maulers. So it's definitely not the same as running multiple Maulers, because then you don't get their ability. You don't get this effect added on. Like you don't get this effect here and the other and the other effect from this one. But I definitely can see it working in some niche lineups, like I said, in Restricted Arena and stuff like that. But so that will cover the artifact portion of this. How sought after these would be used, it's once again, it's going to be very niche for all 3 of them, in my opinion. What heroes I think you should use them on. As far as the Maulers go, I do think it would be best to run them with other technologists and other criminals. So I would say for the technologist side of people that aren't criminals, maybe a robot and a Donald can go really hard with this, or maybe a robot and a Shapesmith can go really hard with this, or maybe even a robot and robot. If you do the two robots, if you do both robots and you put you put them in the front row side by side and do 3 range maulers and your whole team is just range basically, it could be pretty interesting because it's going to be a lot of healing and a lot of damage. Maybe that could be good, but for the most part, I think it would be best to stick with criminals while doing that. And I would definitely say the people you would want to use is probably Doc Seismic and Powerplex. They're probably the top people you would want to do. But you could also mess around and maybe throw in a Komodo Dragon and a Sinister Mark. Because you wouldn't need to throw in the King Lizard guy because he already had all he needs is someone that's armed, and you already have that one of the range maulers. So there's a few teams you can do there. You can do, like I said, if you put those 2 artifacts on a Sinister Mark and a Komodo Dragon, you can have a Komodo Dragon tanking a Sinister Mark in the back line with the range mauler, and then Powerplex and fighting mauler in the front, and you have basically a full mauler team minus Powerplex with a ton of extra damage and tankiness that you wouldn't normally have. So I definitely do think there's ways to max it. We'll have to get the artifact to test it really, but it's definitely an interesting artifact, I would say. So this is just to let you guys know that the video is a 2-parter. So the second portion of the video for the totems is going to be in a different video. So I just wanted to make that because it just randomly cuts. I just wanted to make this let you guys know that. But love you guys. Catch you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.